Hello and welcome to the Union Labor Advisory Network. I'm Mike Fina. Today I'm extremely proud to have a good friend of labor, Eric Meslin, who is the president and business manager of Sheet Metal Workers Local 28, joining us today. Today, Eric will be talking with a few women within labor in the trades to talk about their experience and the career path within the highly diversified local of Sheet Metal Workers Local 28.
Well, we're talking about women in construction today, and as you know, Local 28 is a very diverse local, and part of that diversity is our women population. And the women population in Local 28 is among the higher for the New York City building trades. And I, thinking about it yesterday, I think a lot of that has to do with the diversity of being a sheet metal worker. Right. And as you can speak to, being a drafts person, there's many aspects of the trade that you can go into. You can work in the shop fabricating. You can go out into the field and do install. You can sit in front of a computer in an office setting and design and fabricate the HVAC systems. You can weld. You can do skylights. You can do architectural sheet metal. And I think that is good for women who are in a non-traditional employment where they find what's most comfortable for them. And I know you, being a skilled drafts person, fell right into one of those categories that you must have liked from the beginning. So let me just ask you, what led you to construction and how has Local 28 changed your life?
What led me to construction is actually a very good friend of mine. Her father, well, he just retired, was a sheet metal worker, and he knew about my background in architecture. I initially came to the trade with a bachelor's degree in architecture, so he thought that I'd be a perfect fit for our trade because it's so diverse, and there is that aspect of drafting, which is something that I've been involved with for many years before coming into the trade. So it just ended up being a perfect fit.
Well, initially I couldn't afford to go to college. I was working like a couple of dead-end jobs. And my father told me about NEWA, which is a nonprofit organization that helps women get into the building trades. So I graduated from there and I had applied to a couple of unions, and Sheet Metal actually called me first.
How has Local 28 changed your life?
Local 28 has changed my life by making me financial independent. I can just about do whatever it is I like to do on my own. Purchase a house, buy a car, go on vacation without, just make investments, start a business, all on my own.
I learned so many different skills that I definitely would not have learned sitting behind a desk, which was probably going to be my next choice.
So can you describe a normal day at the office?
So a normal day at the office would be taking a design drawing from a mechanical engineer and basically taking those drawings and applying them to the real world. So we either have an existing building or a new construction where we will take the sizes and locations that the engineer proposes and actually make it work. So we'll go in and we'll start editing the size of the ductwork to fit in the space, along with coordinating with other trades such as electricians, plumbers, ceilings.
Right, and they kind of rely on the sheet metal workers' drawings because we are probably the biggest part of the ceiling space.
Right, exactly.
So it's critical, yeah, your work is very critical for the rest of the trades to go about their work.
Yes, typically we go first because of our size, and then the rest of the trades follow.
And what would you say the biggest challenge, in your opinion, is for being a woman in construction?
Some feel that women cannot do a man's job. And I feel like everyone could do whatever job they decide. We just do it at a different pace.
A lot of people are kind of still stuck in the mentality that construction is a man's world. And, as more females come up, I think we're all just trying to make sure that we put ourselves out there in the best light and let it be known that we can do this too.
Coming across a few individuals who look at my size and don't think that I'm capable of doing the things that we do in our trade. I spent my entire apprenticeship in the field installing ductwork, and I was just learned to advocate for myself and make sure that I was able to do all the aspects of our trade, but just do it a smart way. So that would be my biggest challenge.
What would you say is the most surprising thing about being a woman in the industry?
The most surprising is, I guess, the opposite of what the most challenging was, is coming across individuals who are more than willing to teach me everything and anything that they know to help me succeed in this trade. And I've been fortunate to come across a lot of individuals who did that, you know, without asking any questions. They would see me and be like, okay, come on, let's go. You're going to go do this today.
I think the most surprising thing is that my atmosphere has been very welcoming for the most part. Like, I'm treated the same, and there's always a smart way to do something that, you know, as long as you work more smart, you don't have to work as physically hard as it may seem.
So Local 28 just instituted a maternity leave benefit. What message do you think that sends to the women in Local 28?
It definitely sends a strong message that we're valued in our union, basically, that we care about the livelihoods of our members, whether you have a family or you want to start a family. So that's, to me, is the best benefit that you could possibly offer a woman, especially young women, because not every job you get is going to even offer maternity benefits. So it's just a plus, and it helps, I believe, retain women in our trade also.
You know, last election, you and another member became the first females ever elected to positions in Local 28. You know, can you speak a little bit to what that meant to you?
I think it was a gigantic step, and it was a great step, and I feel like it opened the doors for a lot of women, because some women just think to come in and just work as long as they can and then move on. They don't think about getting into political position, or, you know, even a teaching position, you know, because we have women that are teachers within the school. It's just a great thing.
Do you see yourself as a role model to the younger generation of women coming into the trade?
I do see myself as a role model in the trade, because I've been in for so long. I work doing a bunch of different things, as far as working in the shop, the field. I weld, president of the women's committee, and then a part-time position in the local. I do see myself as a role model.
I think that especially because during my apprenticeship, I was working during the mornings, and then at night I would go back to college. So I showed that, like, you know, you can always do multiple things in this union. It's so many different avenues and opportunities. I worked in the shop, I worked in the fields. I'm trying to do welding. I want to do sketching classes. So I think that being well-rounded is super important, especially as a female in our industry. And I hope that I am inspiring, that you can do outside work as well as working in construction and succeeding. And definitely, like, you know, the way avenues have opened up from previous women, I hope that, like, what I'm doing can open up more avenues for females that come after me.
You know, when I was growing up in the union, I only knew just 2 women, and now I look at, like, my class, we just graduated 7. And I see how we just keep coming back for more, and being at, like, the picnic and the parades and having your families there and seeing all these different women come in and show you, well, yeah, I do this. No, my husband's not a sheet metal worker, I am. I feel like that's super empowering. And as a mom, I want my daughter to do that. I want her to feel like I'm a role model for her and to be proud of what I'm doing for her.
The sky's the limit for us within our life, within Local 28. That's how I look at it for women and for myself.
The Union Labor Advisory Network is a site to support, educate, and promote informative content relative to the union labor community. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate all your support. Please follow us on ulanetwork.com, on our YouTube page, Instagram, or on our LinkedIn page as well. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great day.